Imagine living a life where every word you speak is a calculated risk. Every friend is a potential foe, and your very existence is a carefully constructed lie. This is the world of the double agent, a tightrope walker, balancing between two rival powers, where one wrong step means a fatal fall. But what if an agent decides they're done with the act? What if they decide to write their own ending, not as a pawn, but as the puppet master? Today, we're diving into the story of a double agent who did just that, crafting an escape so audacious it left the world's most powerful intelligence agencies reeling and rewrote the rules of the game. Our story begins in the frosty heart of the Cold War, a time of paranoia and suspicion, the perfect breeding ground for spies. Amidst this global chess match, a promising young operative is recruited. On the surface, he's the ideal candidate, sharp, loyal, and utterly dedicated to his nation's cause. He's sent deep undercover, tasked with infiltrating the enemy's intelligence apparatus. His mission is simple: feed them just enough truth to be trusted, while funneling their most valuable secrets back home. He performs brilliantly, earning the confidence of his new handlers. But from the very beginning, there were signs, subtle clues missed by his superiors. A report filed with an unusual turn of phrase, a mission debrief with a detail that didn't quite add up. These weren't mistakes. They were the first, quiet brushstrokes of a masterpiece of deception, a private plan that no one, on either side, could ever have predicted. To be a successful double agent is to be a master storyteller, and our protagonist was a virtuoso. He didn't just create a cover story, he built a fortress of lies, brick by meticulous brick. He had 2 names, 2 histories, 2 sets of mannerisms. He remembered birthdays of fake relatives, developed tastes in music and literature to fit his persona, and even simulated political opinions with convincing passion. He was a ghost, a reflection in 2 opposing mirrors. With this dual identity firmly established, he began to manipulate the flow of information with surgical precision. A piece of genuine intelligence passed to one side would be subtly altered before being reported to the other. A seemingly minor detail about a rival agent's movements, shared with his original handlers, was actually a breadcrumb, a calculated piece of his future escape puzzle. But this constant performance came at a cost. The pressure was immense. The walls were closing in. He knew that for a double agent, there are only 2 endings, a bullet or a lifetime in a gulag. It was this grim reality that fueled his burning desire for a third option, an exit of his own design. Every great plan starts with a single electrifying spark of an idea. For our agent, it came during a routine debriefing, a moment of mundane bureaucracy that suddenly illuminated his path to freedom. The thought was insane, impossible, yet it took root. He wasn't just going to disappear, he was going to make both sides facilitate his escape without them even realizing it. He began laying psychological traps for his handlers. He'd feign burnout to his original masters, hinting at a desire for a less dangerous, administrative role. To his new friends, he'd express manufactured paranoia, a fear of being discovered, making them believe he was becoming more dependent on them for protection. Every action became a part of the grand design. A request for a specific piece of gear wasn't for a mission. It was a tool for his escape. A report detailing a safe house in a neutral country wasn't just intel. It was him scouting his own destination. He was playing 3-dimensional chess while everyone else was still setting up the board. He was turning his prison into a launch pad. The day finally came. The culmination of years of planning, of living on a knife's edge. The escape was a symphony of chaos, perfectly orchestrated by its conductor. It began with a fabricated emergency, a burn notice he himself created, forcing both agencies into a frantic state of reaction. Using the protocol and resources of one side, he evaded the pursuit of the other. He exploited their own security measures, turning their strengths into his getaway routes. At one checkpoint, he used an escape and evasion tactic he'd been taught by one agency to slip past operatives from that very same agency. It was a masterclass in audacity. The moment he crossed the final border and vanished, he ceased to be an asset or a traitor. He became a phantom. In the immediate aftermath, chaos erupted in Langley and Moscow, Frantic agents scrambled, reviewing every file, every report, every conversation they ever had with him. How could they have missed it? They were looking for a betrayal, a defection to the other side. The truth was far more humbling. He hadn't chosen a side. He had chosen himself. His escape wasn't just a failure of security, it was a profound psychological blow. It exposed a vulnerability they never thought to consider, that the game itself could be rejected. The legacy of this ghost agent is a story whispered in the halls of intelligence agencies to this day. His escape forced a complete overhaul of counterintelligence protocols. The concept of agent motivation was no longer just about ideology or money. It now had to include the radical possibility of personal freedom. Vetting processes became more rigorous, psychological profiling more intense. They were trying to build a cage that could hold the next mastermind who dared to dream of escape. But what became of him? Did he find his quiet life on a sun-drenched beach, sipping cocktails under a new name? Or did his past eventually catch up to him? The truth is, no one knows. His final act was to pull a curtain of mystery across his life, leaving the world to speculate. He remains an enigma, a testament to the power of a single individual to defy empires. His story isn't just about espionage. It's a profound reflection on the human spirit's unbreakable will to be free, and the extraordinary lengths one person will go to reclaim their own destiny. Thanks for watching. If you're fascinated by tales of espionage and history's greatest mysteries, make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next deep dive. See you in the next video.